Hey guys, welcome in. So today I'm actually building out a new sales funnel. I'm working from my TikTok couch today. So today I'm building out a whole new offer, not really from scratch. I'm going to take one of my offers that I've been thinking about and working on, and I'm just going to get it launched. But I spent the weekend like rethinking through my avatar for this offer and getting more specific about my unique value proposition. So I am going to change some of the messaging on the sales funnel and things of that nature. So you're going to watch me build an offer from scratch if you'd like, or if you want to work on your own offer or sales funnel right now. I'm going to talk through some of the steps that I'm going through so that hopefully it's helpful to you as you relaunch your offer or launch your offer. So, first things first, I have a whole master plan that I wrote out right here of my goals for this new offer because currently I primarily do done for you services. I help my clients get their courses built and launched. I help my clients with the back end operations of their programs so they can increase back end sales, reduce refunds, just have a whole entire operations plan, staff their teams, and things of that nature. But my new offer, I really want to start working with people who are beginning course creators, which sometimes I do. Like they have coaching offers or they have other businesses, and I'm helping them, turn that into building and launching their course. But I want to make that my core offer now instead of doing the back end sales. I really want to focus on people who are new to this, helping them create consistent cash flow from online courses. So that means I really need to speak to people that I haven't spoken to before. I haven't spoken to the people really at this phase in their entrepreneurship journey. And some of them may or may not have already launched a business, right? It may be you if I'm doing my YouTube strategy correctly. So, to that end, I really need to create offers that are going to meet them where they're at, which means really speaking to that beginner phase of the journey. Excuse me. so, um, so yeah, I'm really going to focus on this particular offer. This particular offer is going to be a kickstart your cash flow offer, going to help them create $10,000 of revenue in 30 days. So, to that end, what I did first is I created my milestones. So I want to make $2.5 million. Dollars. I'm not saying it has to be done in the next year, but that's my 12-month goal. It's 2.5 million. Maybe I'll hit it, maybe I won't, but the whole point is I've set the goal so I know that I'm working towards something. You know how they say reach for the moon, even if you miss, you'll land amongst the stars. So my goal is $2.5 million dollars in revenue. And so to that end, I also created like my milestones. So first, I want to make 12K per month with this offer, not any of my other offers, this offer. And then eventually scale that to 20K per month, then 100K per month, then 250K per month. I always think in terms of a 10-month year because I actually take off I want to say 2 months, but really I take off 3 months. November, December, January, I'm really no good. Like starting right at Thanksgiving till almost the end of February, like your girl is in hibernation mode. So I always do everything based on a 10-month year. Really, it's a 9-month year, but I do a little on the front end and the back ends of like November and February. So, yeah, those are my goals. And then let's see. So, to that end, I want to collect at least $10,000 in cash from this new offer. So, I'm playing around with the pricing. It's either going to be $1,000 or it's going to be $2,000. And and that's going to determine how many people I need to get in for the initial offer, either 10 or 5. And then I outlined my steps that I need to get there. I don't want to show this half of my page because it has some information on there about my clients. Um, but I basically was like, okay, I'm gonna build it backwards, girly. Like, you can't start from, oh, I want to get clients. No, you have to start from building the offer. So my first step is, well, first I drew up my little sales funnel, which is gonna start with lead gen, lead nurture, then sales, then fulfillment. And then first step is you basically work it backwards from fulfillment all the way up through the top. So first I need to do my offer details. So I'm gonna write those out. And then I'm going to actually set up the program. So schedule the coaching calls, set up the community to receive people, and then any, I'm probably not going to pre-record any videos for this particular course, but I will map out the curriculum and what I'm going to teach. And then if I do have some videos I want to record, I'll do that. Worksheets that I feel like will help people get to the result faster, I'll do that. If not, I will create them as I go along based on what the students say they need. The second thing after working on like the offer and how I'm going to fulfill on the promise is I'm going to work on my sales. So my sales system is going to consist of a sales page, and then I will probably offer one-to-one calls if somebody needs to hop on the call and clarify anything before they buy. So I'll work on my sales page and I'll work on my Calendly. And Calendly is the booking system I use. And then the third step is then to work on like lead generation. Well, not lead generation. Lead generation is top of funnel. So after they come into your funnel, you need to nurture them to the offer. So after I do the sales, I'm gonna work on how would I nurture them once they're on my list. And in this case, that's going to be like writing out the emails to invite them to the offer, and, what's going to get them to click on the link and look at the offer and read through it. So, sexy email titles, sexy email content, and then a link to the offer. And then how do I even get them on the email list? Then I'm going to go to lead gen, which is going to involve YouTubing, which I'm doing YouTube at this point instead of going to my warm network, just because I'm in a different phase of my business and I'm using YouTube for lead generation. I will also, from YouTube, I'm going to invite them to my free community, which you guys have seen me offer that free community multiple times. And then I'm going to actually fix my free community setup, because since I'm using that as my free front end offer, like normally I'd say like, oh, offer a checklist or some type of lead magnet or things of that nature. Right now, I'm focusing on my free community is my lead magnet, and it is a lot of work. So I would not necessarily recommend that for beginners. But for me, I'm full time in my business, so I have the time to dedicate, and not only the time to dedicate, but the time for it to work and to like put those seeds in the ground, because it's not necessarily the fastest way to generate leads or the fastest way to a sales offer. Um, but yeah, for me, I'm working on community right now. So I'm going to set that up the way I want, make sure that I'm setting it up to offer a lot of value. So I'm thinking free calls 1 to 4 times monthly, to connect with them. I'm just going to go based on what they need. Um, and then making sure I have calendar events on there and resources in the classroom that are free for them to access. Right now, my $18,000 program is in there for free. If anybody wants, they can go in there. I walk them step by step through how to build, launch, and sell an online course. I don't necessarily know that that's serving them, because I feel like when you give something for free, people don't necessarily go through it because you haven't had them put any skin in the game. So this is why when we sales, it's really important that you actually have people pay. Um, I'm not going to say a significant amount, but something that's meaningful toward what you're giving them, because that allows them to actually get the transformation because they have skin in the game. So that's that. Step one, two, three, four, offer details, sales, lead nurture, and then I'll work on lead gen, building it backwards. So, first things first for me, I'm going to use this first palm to work on my offer. So, I'll share screen if that's helpful for you, and let's get this working. If you're working on something else today, feel free to drop that in the chat, and I'm happy to cheer you on. I'll put on some music for our session, and then I'll check in with you during the breaks. All right. So that is one palm done. We are 30 minutes into the session. I have another timer going for another session I was doing that was overlapping. So for me, I'm an hour in, but I'll add another 30 minutes to the end so we get the full 3 hours. But basically, what I've done is I have I mapped out my offer. So these are the high impact activities I plan to do because I think this is going to be what's best for my clients in helping them get to the actual result of hitting the 10K in 30 days. So I mapped out the course curriculum. And then now I'm working on what is the coaching going to look like. So it's going to be 30 days. So I'm trying to figure out what day of the week to start on and things of that nature. So I'm just looking at my calendar. And then as you can see, I started on the community first because I already have a container for all of my other programs. So I'm just going to put them in there with my free community. That way I'm not, my brain is not scattered everywhere and I'm trying to run multiple communities. No, everybody can be in the same place. You get access to me in one space. Some people might choose to do it differently and run multiple communities, like a free and a paid. I don't feel like doing all that because I like to keep my life as simple and streamlined as possible. And then if I find that that doesn't necessarily work and I need to move the paid members to a different type of space, then I'll do that when the time comes. But for right now, they're going to go into my existing community and I'm just going to create a separate tab so that if they need to check in on anything that's program specific, they can go to that particular area of the community and ask me any questions they have and get live feedback from me in between coaching sessions and also support each other since they're on the same trajectory. Um, so yeah, I'm still in the middle of working on when I want to do the coaching sessions. I've mapped out like what's going to be week 1, what's going to be week 2, what's going to be week 3, and then what's going to be week 4. And then from there, because week 1, 2, and 3 is really like foundations. And then week 4 is like work the action plan, start getting that revenue, right? Um, so yeah, I'm just trying to figure out the best day to start on. I gave this some thought previously, but I don't remember where I put the information. I have like I'm like organized, but not. Like I have 50 million to-do lists. As you can see, my calendar is absolutely bonkers, but this is the only way that I get done what I need to get done in my life, just because I do a lot. Like for my business, real estate, my family. I'm a single mom, so just a lot of stuff. Plus I have ministry training. So yeah, I got a lot going on in my calendar. And I'm traveling to California next week and this week, spring break. So just trying to figure out the best way to start the program on. But right now, I am going to take a little bit of a break since we got a minute left. And I'm going to go refresh myself and then come get back into it and figure out when I'm going to do these coaching sessions. Okay, another palm done. So what I'm doing here is I can't even remember where we left off last, but I chose my 30 days starting on Thursday, March 27th, going through Friday, April 25th. So those are going to be the coaching days. And now I'm working on the community. So I created a specific tab in my school community, which is where I host my free group and where I'm also going to host my paid group. I created a tab that's specifically for this particular program launch. And then I'm using ChatGPT to help me like create all the intro posts. So a welcome post as like, hey, drop your goals and why you're here. And then I'm gonna probably follow some of ChatGPT's other suggestions, which are maybe have one post that's specifically for offer creation and pricing. And if you want your feedback on that, one for sales, one for lead gen and outreach, one for wins. I don't know that I want to make all of these threaded posts because I want people to feel free to create their own post as they see fit. And then I can just respond to those. So I don't know that I'll follow all of this. But I just want to have some type of prompts in there that's telling people, this is what you do, this is how you engage with the community, this is how you get feedback, this is how you get encouragement. So I at least want to do that for them. And if you're curious about how I prompt ChatGPT, I already had a previous offer, so I went to that same thread because this is just kind of a tweak of that offer and meeting my audience where they're at. And so as you can see, it has like SEO, meta tags, and all that because I was actually creating the landing page. Well, it already exists. I created the landing page. Um, so now I let ChatGPT know, hey, I'm changing the offer. It's going to be a high impact 30-day Kickstarter because it used to be 8 weeks. And I told ChatGPT what we're going over during those 8 weeks, which is based on what I mapped out here, the action plan, and then the action. Then I also told it, hey, I haven't decided on the coaching just yet, but I let him know him. I let ChatGPT know when the cohort's going to start and end, and where the community is going to be hosted. And I was like, hey, I'm creating a community tab, blah blah blah. Uh, any thoughts on making threads? And then that's when ChatGPT was like, yeah, here are my ideas for threads. And I'm like, okay, let's start with the welcome and accountability thread. Let's make it engaging and make sure it has a title as well as the post content. Just because school post, you actually need to create a title along with the content. And then I was saying, after it created the first draft, I was like, hey, maybe create a poll as well. What do you think? And so it created a poll idea to put into here. And then I was like, hey, also add the link if you haven't registered yet, because since it's inside my free community, there may be people in the free community who aren't registered and who might see us having all this activity and are like, hey, what's going on? So I'm like, hey, in that same link, drop the link to register. And then I told ChatGPT, put this in my voice because you know how I talk. You done seen my videos, you heard me write stuff. And like, although I can talk very proper, like I'm a California girl, whatever, I talk how I talk sometimes. I talk very ebonic sometimes. Not that I was raised like that at all. Like sometimes I'm like, girl, where did you get this from? Why are you talking like that? But yeah, I'm like, put it in my voice because this is how I would say it. um, and I was like, make it fun and engaging. Like, you know how I talk. Like, we about our paper. We about to get this money. Let's go. So I had ChatGPT rewrite it in my voice. And as you can see, ChatGPT is like, hey, you made it. Like, that's exactly how I would say it. Thank you, sir. um, and then I also was like, for the poll, I was like, make the poll fun and easy. Like people don't want to answer questions about, I'm just getting started on my journey or this or that. Like they'll tell me that information when we're doing an onboarding call. There's anybody. Just make something fun. Like no wrong answers. Like I came to make this money, or I just came here to be nosy and see what y'all doing. Like this is the type of stuff I want to see. That matches my personality. So that's what ChatGPT did for me. And the bell just went off saying that this 5 minute break is over. So I'm about to go. I'm very hungry right now. So I'm about to go have a snack and take a little bit of a 5 minute break. And then I'm going to get back into creating this first welcome poll. I'll put the music back on in the meantime. Oh my God, y'all. So I'm over here in school. I'm still working on this intro post. And actually, I'm thinking what I'm going to do is I'm going to take the majority of the content out and I'm going to make it into a video. So that's probably what I'm going to work on during this next poem. But what happened is, so I'm composing the post and then I'm making the poll. And then all of a sudden, I clicked this thing down here by accident where it was like, oh, fun post ideas to kick off your community. I clicked it, the whole post and the poll disappeared. So you might have seen me go like, oh my gosh, I thought everything was over. But keyboard shortcut, I pressed that Apple Z to undo, and thankfully, the post content came back, even though I do have it in ChatGPT in a sense, but I have been editing it over here live, not in ChatGPT. So, yeah, this was like my final version. It's like, oh my gosh, my most recent draft disappeared. But now I know for the future to actually post when I have the majority of the content done and then just go back and edit so that I can at least cancel out if I make a mistake like that. But anyway, yeah, so I'm making the poll right now. As soon as I get the poll done, I'm probably just going to post this as is. And then I'm going to take majority of this content, put it back into ChatGPT, and just write out some talking points for a little quick introductory video. And then I'll probably film that during the next poem. But yeah, what are y'all working on? Drop it in the chat or the YouTube comments if you want, and I will cheer you on. Let me know if you have any questions about anything I'm working on. As you can see, building out a sales funnel is not really about the sale itself. It's really about the content, because what's going to happen is as I'm building out the offer is going to make it a lot easier to then go back and create the sales funnel. And then there's a principle in sales and in life, like show, don't tell, right? I can show you better than I can tell you. So what's going to happen is that as I do start to go out and build my marketing assets and my sales funnel assets, I'm going to be able to pop into this course portal, show them like, this is what we're doing. If I pre-populate the course portal itself, not just the community board, pre-populated with some content, I can actually show inside like, hey, these are some of the worksheets that you're going to be getting. These are the scripts and the templates you're going to be getting. This is some of the strategy you're going to be getting. So I'm building all this out first so that when it is time to go work on the sales and marketing funnel, I have content that I can actually use to create it. I will have thought through what my offer is and how I'm framing it for clients. So it'll be much easier to write out the messaging in a way that lands well with the client. So yeah, that's what I'm working on. Hope you guys are having a great flow. And I'm going to put the music back on. I'm not really going to take a break per se, but I'm going to put the music back on, keep sipping on my little sparkling water and juice. Gave up that soda a long time ago, so I generally put like a little bit of juice, like maybe 2 to 4 ounces in a glass, and fill up the other 12 ounces with a Waterloo sparkling water, a little 12-ounce can of Waterloo, and then that gives me my 16 ounces. So yeah, this is what I'm sipping on. Hope you guys are having a great flow, and thanks for rocking with me. Let me know if y'all have any questions or any suggestions for me, and let's keep going after this bag. All right, y'all. I am pausing the music for a minute because I am about to record the video for the welcome post. So, first, let me get mic'd up. And then I'll show you a little bit. I'll show you a little bit of behind the scenes of how I record my videos. So I haven't been mic'd up this whole time, clearly. So my audio probably wasn't the best. But for this video, I want to make sure it comes out right. I have a wired mic, so I slip it under my outfit and make sure it's not covered. Clear line of communication to my mouth. And I know that it's probably visible in the video, but what can your girl do? Everybody know you gotta wear a mic when you producing video, so it's not a big deal. It's not a secret. Um. All right, so the program that I use to record my videos is called Loom. I'm gonna put these in all in one tab. I got 16 minutes left to get this video recorded. I'm basically going to use this stuff that I was talking about previously and put the same stuff in my video. So what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna take this, I'm gonna put it into a Google document. Cash flow, Kickstarter, student welcome video. All right. And what I do to make sure I don't have to do a whole bunch of takes during my actual filming is I actually script out my talking points. Now, you can script to your level of comfort. One day when I'm really, really comfortable with public speaking, I probably won't have to script so much. But for now, sometimes I do script pretty heavily and pretty specifically. So, yeah, I'm happy for people who don't have to do that. But for me, I definitely do. And like a lot of YouTubers that I watch, when they actually do the behind the scenes and talk about like, oh yeah, I use a teleprompter. Like they specifically say they use a teleprompter. And then like news anchors and all these other people that we see on TV, most of them use a teleprompter. Unless you're like an actor or actress who's doing live TV and you are just specifically good at like going off the cuff or remembering your scripts and your lines pretty easily and heavily. But for me, that's not where I'm at. So, but what I do is I know my voice and I've had people like give me feedback. So I try to, even though I'm using a script, I try to talk in my regular voice and kind of just use it to guide me. And part of that is creating the script in advance, reading through it a few times. And then I've had to get feedback of people saying like, you sound like you're reading something. And I'm like, honestly, I've always read for the most part in my videos. But I think when I'm telling a story about myself, it's it's like I'm reading, but I'm not reading. Like I'm reading to get my talking points, but I know what I'm going to say and I know how I kind of want to say it. So I'm kind of relating the story in my own words, even though I have the talking points in front of me. So what I'm trying to get better at is no matter what I'm reading, understanding like, Regina, if you were sitting here talking to somebody about this off the top of your head, because as you're writing it, most of the time it's off the top of your head, right? So as you're writing it, how would you have said that out loud? And so trying to get myself out of the script and into the moment of like, yeah, use it as a tool. So just in case you forget something that you wanted to say, make sure it's there. But at the same time, um, if you were talking to a friend, how would you relate this information? So And I like to use a lot of boxes. I think it makes things much easier to read. So, like intro, mm, big promise. Let's get started. First assignment. Oops. Challenge. Um, Register. It's not too late. Then really the poll is part of the assignment. And then reminder, CTA. All right. And I may or may not say all these things, but I just want to have it here. So, what I'll do, I have another screen here, which is my laptop. You saw I'm looking away. I'm looking away because I'm looking at my big screen right now since I'm working. But I have another screen here, which is my laptop. And I have a MacBook Pro and it has a really good camera, which is actually better than my webcam. So I'll be using this to shoot all my videos. Um, and I have a teleprompter app on my computer. So I will film the video looking this way and I'll just put this script in front of me and that's how I'll get that done. So let me share my screen. Okay, so this is my main screen. And this is my teleprompter app. It's just called teleprompter. Sometimes I use my teleprompter, sometimes I don't. Like, as you can see, it's a bunch of random stuff in here, but lately I've been practicing using it and I'm putting a date on things lately. March 10th. Um, Welcome 10K welcome post. And then what I'll do, I feel like I'm telling y'all all my little secrets. Oh my gosh. What I'll do is I will put it here in the teleprompter app, and then I'll just record. But first, I want to actually read through my script before I record. So I'm about to go on mute for a minute and just practice my delivery and sounding natural, how I would really want to say it to a friend. So I'm going to do that first before I hit record. So let me do that. My bad. I accidentally messed up the music in the middle of trying to pause it. But yeah, so I wrote out my little script, and what I'm going to do is it's in table form, but I'm just going to take the right side of this table. I'm going to go to my teleprompter app. I'm going to paste it here. Now, I talk pretty fast. So sometimes, this is what I'll do. So I have a certain speed that I like it on. So I paste it in here. I click done. I don't know why I got that emoji pasted in there. Um, I turn it pretty slow to a turtle because what I don't want to do is have it going super fast like a hare. And then I'm trying to keep up. What's up, man? And then lose my words. Like, your girl don't got time for that, right? So I turn it like almost as slow as possible. And then what happens is I press start. Now, this is a little too slow. But sometimes what happens if it's too slow, this is what I'll do to make editing really, really, really easy. So, like, let's say if it's too slow and I'm holding my words right here, I will stop just in that position until it catches up. Because that way, when I start reading again, it's very easy to splice that apart and delete that section of silence. And so everything flows together seamlessly rather than if I do this and try to rewind and blah, blah, blah. My hands are in a totally different place. And then that makes editing seamlessly a little harder. I just thought about this like this past week. So this is my first time doing it that way. But I was like, oh my gosh, this makes it so much faster. So like I said, I'm mic'd up. I'm gonna take these glasses off. These are my blue blocker glasses so that my eyes don't get fatigued when I'm looking at the computer screen too long. And yeah, I'm gonna be very animated. If you want to see the final version of this video, you can pop into my online community. It's free to get into the community. The challenge is a paid challenge, but if you go into the community, you're still gonna be able to see like any posts that I make and things of that nature. So all right, I'm about to hit record. What I do is I put the oops. I have my Loom app open. I put the teleprompter. Whoops. I generally put the teleprompter like right at the top in the middle of the screen so that I'm looking right at the camera. But actually, no, 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 no. I put it down a little bit because I notice when I'm looking at the screen, it just looks weird because that's not where I would look if I was like on a Zoom call or something like that. So I put it in the middle of the screen, um, but down a few inches on. Swallows on down the wrong pipe. Excuse me. Anyway, down a few inches, down a few inches on the page. Anyway, we are in the middle of a break. So there's like 40 seconds left to the break, which means that there is a bell that's going to go off in the middle of my recording. So if that goes off, I'm probably just going to stop, freeze, and wait till it stops. Um, but yeah, this is what I do. I'm gonna record my video. And like I said, if you want to see the final version of it, pop into my community, success.millionaires.co/MHN. M as in million, H as in heirs, N as in nation, MHN. All right, so I said H as in heirs. I hope you know that it's not A like the air, but heirs as in heirs to the throne. All right, here's the ding for the break. All right. I'm going to keep the music off while I record, and then we can get back into it. All right, so we hit the end of another palm. We actually have one more palm to go since we started at 12:30. Yeah, we started at 12:30. Um, so we have another 25-minute palm to go. I was hosting another session in Flow Club, so they just ended because we started at noon. But yeah, I got the video posted in the portal. You might have seen that I copied my video and then deleted the original. Normally, I do not do that, but for some reason, it was having some odd behavior where it was starting in the middle on this video in the post, and I didn't feel like figuring it out, like why I was having that behavior and like going to an incognito window and trying to see if it mimicked the same behavior for my audience. So I just deleted the old video. But normally I wouldn't, because if there were things that were in the edits that I took out that I wanted to reuse or something of that nature, I wouldn't delete it. But yeah, it's a done deal. This post is made. As you can see, I took out most of the written stuff. Still kind of long, but I took out the majority of it, since I put it in the audio and video. But also, this gives an opportunity for those who process via, seeing things, gives them an opportunity to read the information. So just working on different learning modalities, that's something important to factor in when you're working on creating a program, because everybody does not learn the same, and you are the teacher, you're the instructor, you're the coach, and they are counting on you to get them the information in a way that they are actually able to receive and process it. So, yeah, I'm just processing right now. This has been a lot. And as you can see, I'm still not even working on the sales funnel yet, because the sales funnel itself, but this is part of the funnel because it's part of the customer journey. But yeah, right now this is just getting the offer together and making sure the portal is ready to receive the students and making sure they have the best experience ever. Now, for some people, they might not put this much effort into it. They might just throw something in the chat GPT or throw something together and say, I created this workshop and throw it in the portal, you know, and that's fine. That might work for them. It might work for their students or some of their students. But for me, I have a very high degree of uh, one, perfectionism, but also integrity. I think it's about integrity. And when I know that something will be more effective for people, I'm going to do it that way. So I'm going to put the time in on the front end to create this offer how I want. But the beauty is, I don't have to recreate this ever again. I'm never going to have to put this much effort into it when I, relaunch this Kickstarter in a couple months or 6 months, because the bulk of the program assets are being created. And you might have seen me like moving things into a different Google Drive because I don't want my Google Drive to start looking crazy. So I actually created a folder on my Google Drive called the Cash Flow Kickstarter to start moving some of these assets into as they're created. So yeah. All right. Well, we got one more palm to go after this break. Let's see where I'm at. The welcome post is there. I think that's enough to get us started, because I know what the course curriculum is going to be, and I can always start creating the content, the weekend prior. Um, Coaching. I have it scheduled on my calendar, but probably what I'll do is I'm going to start creating some of the emails that need to go out to people when they do register. So, like their onboarding sequence and things of that nature. Actually, let me stop making stuff up. I'm going to go by this list that I created. Offer details, set up the course, which is the curriculum, the coaching, the community, add links. Okay. Next is work on the sales page. Okay, well, I guess my next thing is that I'm going to work on the sales page. I have a sales page already set up for the Kickstarter. That was originally when it was going to be this long 8-week program. Mm. Um, oh, $9.95. That's what I have the price at. So I'm just going to review this for the next session, make sure it still reflects what I want to offer or tweak the wording as needed. And then from there, set up my booking links in case anybody needs a one-to-one call to ask any clarification questions before they enroll. So yeah, I use an agency for my funnels that's built on top of Go High Level. So I'll be working in the back end of that system and to create this, or not to create it, but to edit it and get my funnel launched. All right. And that is the end of our last poem, last 5 minutes. I usually take to like celebrate what I've accomplished. Now, I will say don't be like me because I'm spending way too much time on this thumbnail. Like, it's really not that serious, especially since it's not like a front end thumbnail. It's not like I'm working on my thumbnails for YouTube. Like, I don't know anything about design. And so I'm just like playing around with it. You know, I got my little ideas from ChatGPT and let ChatGPT give me like a little mock up. But I also think that's too busy. I'm not really a busy type of person. I'm very minimalist. So sometimes I'm like, oh my gosh, it's cringe. It just has too much going on. Um, but yeah, I'm probably going to just simplify this a tiny bit and just get it out into the portal because it literally does not matter. Um, as much as I'm making it matter. I could just do like some type of clean design and be done with it. Um, And yeah, that's it in terms of setting up the offer. Oh, I know what happened. So I said I was about to set up the sales funnel, and then I was like, oh, I didn't finish setting up the course inside of the community. So even though I'm not going to pre populate it with a bunch of like pre done, um, pre-done videos, on-demand videos and audio, because this is really about like being in that live energy and helping each other level up. I still do want to have a course portal. So inside the membership app that I use, there is a classroom and it has some things in here, but I'm also going to add something for the Kickstarter. Like this is my main signature program right here. Um, but I'm also going to add something for this Kickstarter, this new, more entry level offer that I'm offering to get people their first 10K in cash. So, in order to do that, I need to have a course tile. Like, as you can see, my course tiles are like, they're not cute right now. So, there's really no reason for me to be doing too much on this thumbnail. Like, it does not matter, right? Um, so I need to create a course tile and then a description, which will probably just have like, hey, if you guys need to ask questions in the middle of the challenge, go to this post and I'll probably link the post, or it'll have some things in there like each day as we finish the coaching sessions, then I'll populate it with like, hey, here's a 30-minute session for today. If you weren't on live, make sure you get it done or watch the replay, whatever. And post your assignments in the classroom for accountability or in the community for accountability. So that's what I'm doing this for. I realize can't go into the sales part until I create the actual course framework, structure, whatever, the container that's going to hold the program. So I wanted to do that first. So I backed up a little bit. And then, yeah, tomorrow I'll probably hop on again and work on the sales page, or maybe later today. And I'll do another live for that where I'm actually working on the funnel itself, which will involve, even though I've created it, I'm going to go back to the drawing board and probably just do some messaging and things of that nature, probably just in a plain old Google Doc, me in a Google Doc and ChatGPT working on the messaging and how I want this to come across and making sure it's optimized for the target audience I'm trying to reach, and then go from there. All right, y'all. Thank you for working with me. I hope y'all got a lot done, or if you didn't work on something for yourself, I hope you learned something from watching me do what I was doing, and I will see you in the next video. This is a reminder. Water and workout. My Alexa always trying to keep me on my Zoom. Thanks, girl. All right, y'all. Yeah, so thanks again for rocking with me, and I will see you in the next video. All right, y'all. It's your biz bestie signing off. Peace.